Hey Moto America fans, this is Superbike rider Kyle Wyman. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the Moto America YouTube channel for more coverage, and also like or comment below.
Here we are once again for the Twins Cup, the second day of racing for these guys. Get the opportunity to show their wares. Guys like Teague Hobbs, Caleb DeCarroll, Jody Berry, going to start on that front row here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Round number one, the second race, ready to kick off here in just a moment. Robbie Floyd and Roger Hayden here with you in the booth. Our boy Michael Hill's been down trackside doing the podium interviews. But as we get ready for this final race of the day, the weather held off. You saw little sprinkles this morning. It's getting warm, it's getting hot out there, and things are about to get hot on track.
Yeah, if this race is like it was yesterday, it's going to be really hot. And it's going to be cool to see Teague Hobbs. Hopefully everything goes good off the start for him. But yesterday we seen such a good race with 5 or 6 guys up there in the lead pack. And I expect it to be even better today because a lot of guys are going to be able to make some changes, and they're going to be a little bit quicker today.
Yeah, again, there was a lot of questions that were answered yesterday. Who would be fast? Teague Hobbs, the 79 Suzuki. He's going to start on pole, and he was up there until he got that little board that said jump start, pull in. He had 5 laps to make that adjustment and pull in. Once he got that, black flag, he was done. You can't come back from a black flag.
Yeah, once they black flag you, you're out of the race, and you get 0 points. And he was disappointed. But I talked to him this morning, and he said you can't change it. It is what it is, and I think that's the right attitude. You can't focus on what happened yesterday. It's over. You can't change it. So looking forward to the race today, and that's his focus.
Okay, he's focused on that win. He's going to start up front. Let's go down to Michael Hill with an update.
Yeah, great. Thanks for coming down, guys. I've been quite busy down here. It's amazing who you bump into in the Moto America paddock. It's got such an international flavor. I bumped into an old buddy of mine, Marco, who is actually heading up the Aprilia side of things here in the States. Marco, we won't do a full Italian thing because half the people might not understand us, but it is great to see you here just walking through the pits. You must be super stoked. The Twins Cup this year, the new Aprilia RS660, so much hype, and it was an Aprilia lockout. You must be ecstatic. Aprilia, the guys in Italy must be ecstatic.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you. It's great to be here. We couldn't imagine and expecting a better weekend. The start of the weekend yesterday was great. To see so many Aprilias on track. We're back in Moto America. We want to start building up something great, and we look forward to this race. But we are happy to be here, and this new bike is fantastic. I think it will allow many people to race and to be competitive on track.
Yeah, and just very quickly before I hand back to the booth before the start of this race, super quick question. You've had some real top riders on this bike, MotoGP riders. Lorenzo Savadori, I know, did a ton of laps at Misano. That can only help with the progression and the development of this new bike.
Yeah, for sure. This bike is new, so it will be a learning curve for everybody, also for us. What we can say, last weekend we were in Misano. All the GP riders were having so much fun with this bike on track. It's great. It's easy. It's fast. We will start also mid-month a trophy in Italy, fully dedicated to the 660. So we'll start developing much more this bike. And what is important today is to be here in Moto America and to see some of the young riders enjoying this bike.
Yeah, fully agree. I'm going to head back up to you in the booth. What do you reckon, Roger Hayden? Let's get an international license for Robbie Floyd and send him to Italy. He can race the Italian 660 series. What do you reckon?
I think we send him away. We'll start a GoFundMe and get the money going.
Well, we talk about the Aprilia being new. One thing that isn't new are the Suzukis like Teague Hobbs and Trevor Standish and Chris Parrish. Those are tried and true bikes. What also isn't new is this track. Been around for a while, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. 5 left-handers, 7 rights in about 2.5 miles.
Yeah, a really fast turn 1, then it gets really tight, that turn 2, 3, 4 area. Drive down to turn 5, 6, and then the most important corner to me is this turn 7 leading onto the back straightaway, all the way down to turn 10 where all the action happens. You see so many passes there. Turn 11 up over the rise, and then the last turn 12. Such a fun track. Everybody loves it.
And we saw passes on those last few turns yesterday, wasn't it? Hayden Schultz making a pass, I think, over Trevor Standish at the last second, able to jump on that final spot of the podium. So you see the riders preparing to get ready. There's a 717 of Jody Berry. What a strong run yesterday on the Righteous Racing Aprilia. It was an Aprilia sweep yesterday in the first race, but the first non-Aprilia was that Fourth place finisher Trevor Standish on the Pure Attitude Racing entry. He's hoping he can get out in front, probably take that tear off and never have to use it again. And the Righteous Racing entry was the only Aprilia that we know of in that field that actually got to make laps around a track before the first practice on Friday. All of the Robham Engineering bikes hadn't even touched the track. They might have done a little dyno work, had a pipe slipped on, but really nothing to speak of. Teague Hobbs, he's on a fast bike. He's starting from pole. He might actually be late off the gate today. He's going to make sure, right?
You would think. He's looking forward to today, though. He's going to have a little extra motivation, I think.
I think you are right as we look on that third row. A former champion, the first champion in the Twins Cup, Chris Parrish, going to start on that third row. Joe Melendez inside of row 4 as well. Liam McDonald, a newcomer, been riding on other parts of the world, but now venturing into the United States, doing well, trying to get inside that top 10. The lone lady in the field, Heather Treese, finished yesterday at a solid spot, taking 1 point for 15th place. See if she can do it again today. Gino Angela back with us in 2021. When you go through that many rows, that tends to be there's going to be lap traffic to deal with later on in the race. It's a 12-lap affair. Roger Hayden. All right, so
It's going to be a good one.
yeah, some thoughts going into this. I do expect Teague Hobbs not to get the best jump off the line because he's going to guarantee that he doesn't do that. But other than that, I think it's going to get crazy up front.
I think that he's going to get a good start, and because he's so mad about yesterday, and he's going to put his head down, and he's going to try to leave the building.
Okay, I think he is. I think he's going to fly once he gets going. But if I'm that guy, it's like a backwards falling gate in motocross. Once you get caught in that thing one time, you make sure that sucker drops before you take off this time. Hey, a guy, speaking of moto, a guy that's pretty darn good at motocross, and yesterday's winner, Caleb DeCarroll, on the 51 entry. He's looking to go back-to-back. His buddy, Garrett Gerloff, probably watching from the other side of the pond. He's on that Robham Engineering team. They finished first, third, and fifth yesterday. So it's good to have that three-rider team effort and all three of them in the top 5.
Yeah, they started out the weekend real strong. They're going to be pretty happy with this new bike, and it seems like they're figuring it out pretty quick.
You see all those marbles on the track out there. You see it in car racing, but you get off that race line, you can see the little pieces of rubber. All right, let's find out who's going to get the hole shot, who's going to get the start going into that first turn. Teague Hobbs on the near side front row. The lights are going to go on, then they shut off, and they're going. Teague didn't get a good jump, and I think Caleb DeCarroll.
I think Caleb got a better jump.
He's used to those motocross starts. He does. Clears him by a bike length. I think that was perfect, though.
Yep, Teague didn't get a good start, kind of shuffled back to 4th already.
Seemed like he got a good jump, but he just didn't quite get the drive, did he? But I think he's going to be fast really early. But as fast as he's been, he could actually wait a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah, and Jody Berry, I think he's past Caleb now. He's leading.
What's going on with
He's
Caleb
been
there? That's not a place that you
Jody
would
Berry's
usually...
been impressive all weekend. He's a name that we weren't really expecting to be at the front. We haven't seen him at the Moto America races in a while, and he's been really strong all weekend.
Absolutely, and that bike looks to probably maybe be a little bit faster. We'll find out compared to the other Aprilias because I know they just don't have hardly any work done to him. There's Caleb DeCarroll, though. He makes the pass early, and Teague Hobbs worked his way up into 3rd. Three-way battle for 2nd. Look at that. No wonder Caleb DeCarroll wants to get away. Trevor Standish on the 16 swinging in and out.
Bumping elbows.
Yeah.
Jody Berry and Teague Hobbs rubbed elbows.
And Standish way outside. When we talked about all that clag.
Rubbing elbows in the kink there.
They're only going 140 miles an hour, Roger. I mean, dang. There's Teague Hobbs, the 79 Suzuki in 3rd place. And we haven't talked about the 49, Hayden Schultz. Right there is where he went off a track yesterday. If it wasn't for that moment, he might have still won that race. He still finished 3rd.
No, had a good comeback in yesterday's race, and after the mistake, just worked his way back to the pack. He looks hungry today. You see every corner he's looking for a spot to make a pass.
And I did talk to him yesterday afternoon. Oh, man! How about that? That was ugly. Man, I mean, crossing lines, you
It just looked
cannot.
like two lines came together.
Oh man, you can't do that. I mean, if you catch that front end, you auger over the front of that bike big time. Oh, Caleb DeCarroll, Hayden Schultz had no idea what was going on between Teague Hobbs, Jody Berry, Trevor Standish just behind. I think I see Toby Comstock sneaking in the picture, the 27. I think also Chris Parrish back there around 5th or 6th. This is kind of what we expected in this class, didn't you?
Exactly. We were talking about it before the race, just how many fast guys and how competitive all these guys are, and you know, all their bikes seem to be really close. They had a good race yesterday, and looks like they are today.
2 and 2.
Hayden Schultz he's going to have the line.
Going to the insides, Berry
Jody
just
Berry.
second. Teague Hobbs goes.
Ooh, Caleb first to fourth.
Drastic inside. That was smart though. I mean, you can't fight with Teague like that when he's going straight line on the inside.
Here goes Caleb wanting to fight back.
I think it's one of those times you got to tell yourself to calm down and breathe. Just
I'm sure he didn't expect to lose a couple spots in that one corner.
But don't try and get them all back at one time.
Jody Berry, fastest lap of the race that lap around.
Bike shooting by the cameras there out in front. Jody Berry, the overall fastest lap that last time around, 1:35.4. They were turning 1:35.1s yesterday, but get some heat in those tires. Let's get going. Let's get both of these guys. Hayden Schultz really didn't get to run up there with Jody Berry much yesterday.
It's like Jody Berry and Hayden Schultz are trying to, you know, work together and separate from the rest of the group.
That's what you do, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Great camera shots on the inside, the lean. There goes Chris Parrish in 6. Toby Comstock just behind him. There's 7 guys in that mix, and look at a massive gap just behind after 7th. About a 5-second differential after 2nd. There goes Hayden Schultz. 2 of those 4 riders are Robham Engineering Aprilias. You've got a Suzuki in there. You've got the privateer effort, the 717 of Jody Berry on the Righteous Racing entry. We also saw a close call here. Tell me what happens.
Right here at the top, you'll see the 3rd and 4th place guy, just their lines come together, and that was close.
And that
was a good save by them.
Absolutely, and I know that was our only shot looking away, but you see how quickly things can go wrong and just out of nowhere. Suzuki and Aprilia's 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to grab on is Trevor Standish on another Suzuki. Standish back there in 5th.
I think Teague Hobbs Teague Hobbs moved up to 2nd going into turn 3, got a really good drive up turn 1 and had the line.
And didn't get the best launch, but as fast as he's been all weekend long, it's kind of calm down, let things settle. He's fast enough, he can win from, I think, anywhere in that top 5 at any given time.
Oh, you're right. He definitely has the speed. He showed it all weekend. And not only has he been fast, he's been consistently fast and putting the laps in. It's not been one quick lap and the other ones are a little bit off the pace. Every lap he's been on it.
Little separation there for the 717 Jody Berry. I don't know if he just found a little something or maybe a little backup by Teague. Look at them. When they're 3 wide, that's just helping Berry every time they do
Look
that.
how close they are. They're 140.
Has stood Teague up. And that's Caleb DeCarroll now moving into 2nd. There goes Teague Hobbs, not wanting to give up position. Teague Hobbs on the 79 back up in front, had the fastest lap overall that last time around. He's trying to do it again this time, and he is closed in again in 2nd. A podium finish last year for Teague Hobbs at New Jersey Motorsports Park, and he didn't get to join us after that next weekend. I was asking, where is he? What's he doing? He said he just did not have the funds to race. Right now, he is flying out in front. Michael Hill, you have more?
Yeah, just interesting to watch the racecraft at the moment of the 51. Caleb de Carrel, we're just talking about him there as he made a little move down the back straight. But Caleb de Carrel, no stranger last year. Remember, guys, in the Twins Cup Championship, he was used to following Rocco Landers. He's not a rider that is going to be too worried at this stage in the race. He'll take his time, he'll bide his time, watching what the other riders are doing. So I think it's quite smart from what I'm seeing on the screen around what the 51 is doing. And keep your eyes on Trevor Standish. It's his home race, and he's learned a lot from yesterday. The gap between the top 4 and Trevor is not really opening up as quickly as it did yesterday, but importantly for Trevor Standish, the gap behind is increasing.
Thanks, Michael, and you are right, but those 1, 2, 3, 4, they got a little bit of a gap, and they're not really working with each other right now. They're kind of trying to get in single file line and
you can see this draft just brings them all together on the back straight. Looks like Hayden Schultz is kind of falling off the group a little bit.
Going to the inside, Caleb de Carrel, not a place to pass. He's trying to hold on to second right now. You see Barry still putting the pressure.
Teague Hobbs makes the pass for the lead.
Yes, it is going back and forth each and every lap. We're on lap 5 of 12. That's the way it's been the entire time. And you talk about Schultz, just when you think he's dropping off the back, he's back in the mix again on the 49. I've been talking with Hayden, and he was working through some gearing changes. He just didn't know where he needed to be in gearing. Do I run out and
look at Caleb? He does not want. He knows Teague's got the pace and does not want him to try to break away.
It's going to cost him, though. It opened the door for Barry to go underneath. Now Barry moves back into second.
Now we're going to be able to see what Teague Hobbs has. He's got clear track in front of him. See if he can put those fast, consistent laps in and break away from the pack.
And that one time, like you said, he didn't, in Caleb de Carrel's mindset, he didn't want to be in second. He wanted to push there. But sometimes you put yourself in those situations, it opens door for somebody else. And look, they dropped back a little bit.
He needs to get a little further away to really try to break that draft where they can't, use that slipstream to catch back up. They're into a lapper now in 7. No, it wasn't a lapper. Jody Barry, looks like Teague made a mistake and Jody Barry caught right up to him in the back straight.
And this could be the time that one Aprilia pulls by the Suzuki. He's going to make that move on the inside. See that top end run out from the Aprilia. He's going to try and go around the outside of this right-hander, but there's a left-hander coming up next. It's 3 wide into this left-hand turn and a double draft for Caleb de Carrel in the 51. Loving it.
Nobody wants to give up an inch in this race so far. I mean, they are battling it out. And look, Hayden Schultz right there ready to pounce. If somebody makes a mistake, was in deep into turn 12.
This is what you want. Michael talking about Standish back there in 5th. He's got a great seat, but he's unfortunately too far away to get any kind of draft from these guys.
He needs these guys to really start battling it out, slow the pace down, and let him try to creep back up.
We saw him get aggressive towards the end of the race yesterday, and it could kind of fall back to him. We're a little over halfway. Teague Hobbs leads Caleb de Carrel, Jody Barry 3rd, Hayden Schultz in 4th. They've been trading positions once, twice, maybe even 3 times a lap. We don't have a lead change counter, but it's got to be up there. Do you want to be leading on that last lap coming down that back straightaway?
In this class, it doesn't look like it.
Had to stand up.
It was a good pass. I would like to be in the lead on the last lap and see if I can, try to break away.
We haven't seen anybody do that just yet. 3 Aprilias in that 4-rider mix. The bike in 3rd right there. Teague Hobbs on the Suzuki.
Teague just made a pass and back into 2nd. See if he outbreaks Caleb here. Look at this run.
He likes to, has that leg out for balance, drives out, and Caleb can't get by here, but he likes to push it on that downhill right-hander. But you can't open the door too much. Jody Barry, he may even go around the outside if you duck under.
We've seen Caleb a couple times in the turn 1 here try to make a couple passes. You see you got to run out of the last corner. Yep. Made the pass. He's been.
Oh, he slowed down there too. Oh no! It takes out Jody Barry with him. 3 of our top 4 down. Standish who looked like he was out of the podium picture, and bikes are coming all over the place. That's Toby
They need
Komsuk.
to red flag it, I believe. There might be.
That is for sure. Toby Komsuk, and that's why they're running for the fences. All 3 of the Robham Engineering bikes are taken out in that first turn, as well as the Aprilia. So the good times for Aprilia yesterday, it was feast, and today it's famine, and we hope everybody is all right. There is the red flag. There was no doubt that was going to happen, and Teague Hobbs is going to be circulating around there. They've completed 7. They had 5 more laps to go, and we'll have to see what's going to happen on this one. That is bad. And you know what? Caleb DeCarroll went hard on that inside, and you'll get to talk about it in a minute, but I was watching him. Went hard on the inside, and I think he knew he was in the wrong spot, and he backed out of it.
But it looked like the guy behind him crashed before he hit him. I don't know, maybe if he panicked real quick and maybe stabbed the front brake or what. We didn't really get it. No, we had to see a different angle.
It almost looked like, I mean, he was worried about that one hump, and he was kind of stood up, because wasn't that a front wheel into the back wheel high side as well that we saw in Barry? Or we'll see it again. We definitely have it. But man, and Toby Komsuk, who was a well back. You know, we didn't even see Toby in the picture. Trevor saw it
Toby
go down.
was back in 7th. You know, he was 8 seconds behind the guys. That's why it makes me question if maybe there was something on the track or not.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly. He was 7 seconds behind our lead group, 4 seconds behind Trevor Standish, and it. As far as we know,
if I was wanting to go for the championship, I'd be over here trying to pick my bike up and see if I can ride it back to the pits. You know, I know a couple of them took a pretty good tumble, but at least make it back and see if I can't get back in this race and salvage some points.
We've seen it before. Hayden Schultz crashed really hard. He's one of those fighters, much like Bobby Fong. Remember pit race? He augured big time. And Teague Hobbs, he really doesn't know what's happening right now, does he? Because you look at the Robham Engineering bikes, and we're hearing it. Looking on the back of the 51, we're seeing maybe a little smoke. Did the motor let go? And it did.
Yeah, it is. You can see it peeking out fluid right there on the left side.
Is it gas or is it water? One way or another, it's bad. And that's why the rider behind went down. Because they got
Look at all that.
It is just dumping fluid.
Teague Hobbs is
so lucky.
Look how close that is.
Watch out. Watch the ejection here. And there's no way to get out of it right now, Roger.
And that's why I thought there was fluid down, because all these guys crashing behind him crashed before he got to him.
And he was laying it, and that's why Toby Komsuk had no idea. Hayden Schultz had no idea. We still haven't seen Trevor Standish. We're assuming that he made it out. We know Teague Hobbs did. He looks behind. He knew something was up there, and man, that is a hard crash.
God, he barely got through there.
And it's something that could be simple with fluid like that. Again, it looked light in color. It wasn't oil. It looked like it was either fuel or water. Either way,
here it is again.
It's like marble.
You can see on the left side of Caleb's bike.
How about Jody Berry?
It's just like hitting ice when that's on the. You have
Jody Berry
no chance.
Got away so good that he was able to lay flat and do that because he's chasing that bike, and he's angry.
Watch this. One more bike's about to come flying in.
Yeah, and there's Hayden Schultz moving out. Yeah, I didn't get to see that. But, yeah, Toby Komsuk was the one that was flying. It took out the entire team in one turn. That would be first, third, and fifth in yesterday's races. And you're right, though, if they feel okay, and they're going to have to do some cleanup out there because there's fluid. There's a bunch of it down there. If they can get those bikes back to the
luckily he didn't spread it to a couple corners. It's one spot, even though it is a lot, but it's not like he made it all the way to turn 4.
You know, it spread 30 yards
Here comes one more bike.
Yeah, what? Oh, and he got clipped just a little bit. And, you know, Hayden's been a racer for a long time.
Look at all these guys running.
Now they're like, you hate to laugh at that, but literally, Hayden forgot about it. The racer in his mind said, man, I got to get back to my bike.
Here we go, one more angle.
And he's dumping fluid. That's 20 yards. That's 30 yards. I mean, it's down there. It's not a ton, but it's still over a pretty decent stretch. And look at Jody Berry just behind. You see your life flash in front of you at this point.
When I see this, it makes me glad
you're sitting here, right? And how good does Jody get away from this? Look at this. He low side, lays it down, and he stays. I mean, that bike, everything's chasing you. That bike's chasing you. You're chasing another bike. And everybody behind you. We saw what happens to Toby Komsuk.
Honestly, we're lucky only one more person crashed. It could have been 3 or 4 more guys pretty easy.
They must have got the the caution out really fast down that front. And that, though, you know, we saw
Let's
a big
watch
gap
this bike if we can fly through here again, just see how close it was.
on Toby Comstock. Yeah, the bike that keeps going. It might take a while in slow motion because remember, it's Hayden Schultz that forgets about what happens when you go down in a turn. And that's why they red flag races, because if you go down, somebody else could do the same thing in that spot, whether it be fluid down on the track or not. Is that bike able to go? I mean, you can go do fine without the side panels. Jody Berry's Aprilia, the 717. If they could get it refired and get out there, and they're going to put it on the trailer. So obviously he doesn't think that they can do it. I mean, even with that fairing, you could take that fairing off. You could try and go. And look, they've got the entire team on that trailer. And you would think.
Just shows you the highs and lows of racing. You know, we seen it in a Superbike race today. Have win one day, next day have
feast or famine.
Terrible day.
And you know what, Roger, you did this a long time, and these guys have been doing it for a long time. If you can get that bike going, if you feel okay, even though it's the first race, you get back on that thing. You do that. Their team really doesn't have any communication with them. I think they're kind of I get it on Caleb's part, but the other
Caleb's
two,
bike. I mean, there's no way it's going to be.
No, but the other two, if they feel healthy enough.
I mean, we don't see. I mean, maybe their handlebars broke off or whatever. I'm sure they went and looked at it.
Man, that was a close
Or
call.
maybe they're shook up.
Yeah, I would be. I am sitting in the booth. You are as well. I seen you because, I mean, your eyes got huge and getting chucked. And, again, that fluid's been – it didn't dump all in one spot. It was crop dusting for a bit. There's 5 laps to go in this race. I guess this deep into it, they could call it.
They could.
They could call it if they want. They could regrid, I guess, would be the other option to the way that they came across last and have a sprint finish. We're well beyond doing a total restart.
No,
that's out of the question.
They would go back from when there's a red flag. They go back
the
previous lap, and that's how they grid them up.
See how it is. Yeah, but I mean, if it's in the first few laps of the race, they will do a complete restart. But we're well past that. Rocco Landers checking on his boy Teague Hobbs.
Get that podium hat on. He's proud, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He should be.
Rocco been hitting the gym. He's looking bigger.
He's just so young when he started. Now he's just starting to grow up.
Hayden Schultz is looking. He's zipping his leathers back up. Now, I got a question for you. You don't zip up your leathers unless you're planning on going out there generally, unless he's going to be doing an interview possibly. But once they put it on the trailer and bring it back, I guess they're in control of the bike the whole time. He can possibly go back out there because they're in control.
Depends where they take it. Sometimes it goes behind the wall.
Let's send it down to Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie. Thanks, Roger. Just a quick one on the restart. My understanding of the rules is the race hadn't completed three-quarter distance, and that is what is needed to classify it as a valid result. So I believe there will be a restart. I'm down here with the Pure Attitude guys. I'm in a Pure Attitude sandwich, you could say. I've got Trevor Standish alongside me. Trevor, you were in the best seat in the house for that. Luckily, it looks as though every rider is up on their feet. But what could you feel as you entered turn one? It was a big, big crash down there. We didn't know whether there was oil or fluid. How did it feel for you?
Yeah, obviously, most importantly, glad that it seems like all the guys are all right. I was going into turn one, and I was coming down this front straightaway, I should say, and I saw a bit of smoke, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just watch these guys and see what happens. And I saw sparks flying, and I was like, I need to check up a little bit because obviously there's some sort of fluid, whether it be water or oil, down on the track. So I took it easy through there. Still had a little bit of a moment there that was able to get through. And as far as the restart, just obviously back the nerves back down and get back out there and see what we can do.
Yeah, it's great to see you at the sharp end. Just stick with me a minute, guys, from the booth. Let's just move across and speak to the other rider in the Pure Attitude team, Liam McDonald. Liam, I can see the sweat there on you. You're having a baptism of fire this weekend in your first ever Moto America weekend. Obviously a little bit too far back in that race to see the incident, but it looks as though we're going to be seeing a 5 or maybe 6 lap sprint race. How are you feeling? Looking good for at least for another top 10, maybe more now with a few guys maybe not able to make the restart.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I really do hope everybody's okay from the incident. I didn't get to watch it, but I just saw a bunch of bikes down on a red flag, and that's never a good sign. But we know what the team's doing. We know what we're doing. We have a plan, and we just need to get back out there. The team's done all the hard work. This is their reward. This is where we start to work and pay them back.
Great stuff. Well, two very confident guys down here, but as Trevor Standish said, the main thing is riders are up on their feet, and now it's down to race direction to make a call.
And they're preparing to go back out there. There's no doubt about it. Dan, anytime that he's got a broom in his hand, something must be up. And we saw him on his hands and knees yesterday trying to correct stuff. And it's just a sad situation that the one little moment took out.
I think what makes it kind of tricky is with it being, it looked like water or a fluid. You know, when it's the oil dry just soaks it right up.
Yeah. And that's what they're doing. They're putting that oil dry on there, and they'll blow it off track. And he was in a pretty much, it's an inside line. And I saw him that one time, and I'm like, man, he sure is. He is really inside going into that right turn. And I was wondering why. Maybe he felt it before we actually saw the smoke.
Well, he was trying to make a pass, so I think it kind of put him on the inside.
Because look at that. I mean, that's pretty drastic on that inside. Let's find out from the man himself. Yesterday's winner, Caleb DeCarroll Michaels, caught up with him.
Yeah, I just had a quick chat off camera, so you okay? You okay to talk? He said, yeah, I'm happy to talk. Caleb, firstly, thank goodness you're okay. You went literally to the moon and back there. That was a big one. Tell us about it, how you're feeling, and is there a chance that you can make this restart?
I feel fine. So as far as the rider's concerned, I could definitely get back out there. And I obviously, as far as the champion's concerned, I would love to get back out there. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure what happened, but I don't think my bike's going to be able to keep going after what just happened. So I think, unfortunately, I'm done for here at Road Atlanta. But what can I say? I had a blast riding here at Road Atlanta. I love this track. Huge thank you to all the fans that came out and are out here watching us put on a show. That's definitely not the type of show that I want to put on for the fans, but hey, went flying through the air, part of the job, and you know, we'll just keep pushing forward and, you know, do what we can for the rest of the season. I can't thank the guys at Robum Engineering enough for putting this amazing bike underneath me. And, yeah, I've been having a ton of fun on this Aprilia RS 660 and hope I can get back out there soon on one.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Just very quickly as well, Hayden Schultz is down here. I think he's in the same situation, guys. His leathers are a little bit more scuffed up than Caleb's. He's just talking to the guys from the team. I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to get out. You can see a few scrapes and scratches, but I think both Robum boys are out of this one, guys.
I can see the crash trucks on pit lane right now being unloaded, and all the crews coming over looking at the bikes to see if they think they can get them back in the race. I think Caleb's definitely took a lot of tumbles and flips, and doesn't look like it took the.
And they'd had to figure out where they lost the fluid.
Yeah, and he had the mechanical or whatever it is.
Yeah, they'd have to figure out. And you see, there's Carl Price in there, I think, in the picture as well, the team manager. You have Michael Kopoulos in there as well. They're trying to get Hayden Schultz. That's the one I really thought would be able to do it. And we saw, you know, Toby wreck there towards the end. Like, you see the fairing wobbling a little bit. You could do without a fairing. Give me some points. Get in that top 15.
You just want points. That's all that matters.
That was Komsuk that we saw flying at the end, wasn't it? That almost clipped Hayden. I didn't see him for sure, but it sure should have been right around that person. I believe it was all three of the Robum guys. Yep, it is. There it is, the 27 on the wagon right there.
Get out of the way, guys.
So there's Toby Komsuk's bike. On this side, looks pretty clean. The other side, maybe not. But again, they're going to be looking to grab his, because again, Toby Komsuk was 5th place yesterday. It looks clean on this right side, but we know it went down hard.
This team is going to hope that this cleanup takes a while.
Yes, it's already taken longer than normal, right?
The longer this cleanup takes, the longer they get to work on their bikes.
I want to point out, too, and I asked the other day, I know they have 10 sets of body work, but parts are hard to come by in the Aprilia world these days in this RS 660. 717, Jody Berry, evidently he is retired. He's not going to go back out there. Caleb is not going to go back out there. Dan says we're a thumbs up. We should be good to go. You're saying great job, our course workers, and yeah, they did do an excellent job. They'll pull that safety car off as well. So you see the guys. Dan gives the okay from the AMA side of things, AMA FIM side of things, and Moto America, and we'll see. Oh, the 717. They're looking right now to see if he can go back out there. And Jody Berry, it looks like. Well, maybe they're just checking it out. Yeah, they're saying no, it's not going to happen. Can Comstock go out? Can Hayden Schultz go out? Hayden's tough. I said that before.
Yeah. He had that big high side last year at Pittsburgh and came right back out the next day and like nothing ever happened.
Quick start procedure, been told, Roger. So that really means nothing other than they're not going to put the tire warmers on in between, and they will have to worry about cold tires because everybody else does have their tire warmers on there right now. I know Hayden's father Dale's probably watching this. It looked like his boy's all right. He was zipping up his leathers. That made me question whether he was going to try and go back out there again. We haven't seen Toby Comstock. We did see his bike come back on. Pop the bead off that tire as well on that rim. I know he's not going to get any points for this race, Jody Berry, but he came out the best because that could have been the absolute worst for him.
And he had a solid weekend. I mean, hasn't raced in a while and come in here and qualify so well, and then also get him a podium yesterday.
And Hayden's thinking about it and trying to roll on those tire warmers until they tell him to fire up. He's going to do whatever he can. I know he could probably hear me down there on the lane, and Pop's probably wondering about him. You know, mom and dad. There's Jody Berry making their way back to the pits. His bodily, he looks like he's doing okay right now.
Yeah, he looks fine.
That's
all
good.
the riders, it was nice to see them all get up after that.
You see him taking off some of the work there. Which bike is that? That's Hayden's bike. Put that underpan under there. The front. As they prepare to get things ready, it looks like we're going to get back to racing here in just a bit.
Yeah, guys, just down here, there's a lot of frantic activity at the Robum Engineering team. There's a new belly pan going on there, a few other tweaks as well. And Hayden Schultz is down here just to the right-hand side of your camera at the moment. He looks perfectly okay, and I think he wants to go. Of course, the big question is he's got to be going through tech again. I don't see anyone from Tech Control down here to check the bike. Yes, now I do. Now we do see somebody from Moto America Tech Control coming down here. So if they do get this fixed, I believe that Hayden Schultz will be allowed to make the restart from the position that he was in the race. It will be a restart based on the grid positions that they were at the time of the red flag, or the lap before the red flag. But there's, as you can see on the camera here, 3-4 guys working on the bike. They are struggling, it seems, at the moment to get the bottom part of the belly pan on. Obviously, there's a few scrapes and scratches on the top part of the fairing. There's some other adjustments now going on to where the tank connects into the top of the headstock there on the suspension. And again, now they've got the bottom bolt in, so the bottom bolt has now gone in, and now we see Hayden Schultz over here. A change of Allen key as well now. This is great teamwork. This is really, really good teamwork. And Hayden Schultz, he's got a few scrapes on him, but he looks perfectly okay. He just shakes his head a little bit there, not really sure whether he's going to get out. In terms of tire warmers, obviously rear tire warmer is on, nothing on the front as yet, and Hayden Schultz now asking some questions, and they're changing the Roger, I don't know if you can see this, they're taking now, I'm not sure he's going to do this, guys. If they get this done, this will be heroic. They're actually now taking off the clamp at the top of the headstock, which holds the forks in, and yeah, the camera moves in there now. They've got a new one that someone's just brought out from the garage, and this is a monster effort from the Robum Engineering team. One of the guys holding the bike steady, and of course these kind of changes, Roger, you'd be doing in the garage or in your pit area. They're having to do it in pit lane, and time is ticking down, and the longer it goes on, the less likely it is that these guys will be out there. But yeah, we've got less than 3 minutes to go. I'm just being told down here, and the guys from Roma are being given a hurry up. Hayden Schultz is putting the gloves on, though. Hayden Schultz has got the gloves and the helmet on. He knows there's less than 3 minutes to go until the start of this race, and he doesn't want to be the one that prevents them from getting back out there, guys. And there you can see Hayden. We're not going to go anywhere near him. I'm normally quite brave at sticking a microphone in someone's face, but under these circumstances, please forgive me. I'm not going anywhere near him. This is fantastic fantastic work by the Robum crew. Still no sign of Toby Kamsuk, so I can't give you an update on him, but it does seem at least one of the trios of the Robum Engineering guys, Hayden Schultz, wants to get back out there. We've got less than a couple of minutes, I think, till the pit lane opens, and there's still a lot of work to do here. One just thought before I hand back to you guys, maybe they get this fixed and they can let him out. It's a bit like Loris Baz in the Superbikes, just really to get a bit of confidence, Roger. You know what it's like, you have a crash, sometimes it's good to get back on the horse, you know, once you've had that little crash. So don't know what your thoughts are, but frantic work going on down here. The news is Hayden Schultz is okay, and if this bike is ready to go, he'll be on the grid.
Roger, you've probably been in this situation before where you're trying to get that bike ready and go back out there.
And as a rider, it makes you really nervous when you see all these mechanics.
Look at this. He is going. He is going.
When you see your crew working so fast and all these changes and, you know, just hoping they don't make a mistake. But that's why it's so important to have a good crew.
Holy moly, look at the rocks coming out of that pan. And they got to clear that out. That's going to be dumped throughout the track as well. And just when we were told a little earlier that Jody Berry would not be running, I think everybody understands the severity of the situation on losing that many points if you could get 1 or 2 or 3 here or there.
I mean, every point counts. We see championships all the time come down to 1 or 2 points. And if you can just get out there and salvage the best you can and move on.
And there's a bike that's planning on going back out there. You can see the tire warmers. Don't know whose bike that is, but there's some pebbles stuck up inside that exhaust. You know, the Robum Engineering guys are pulling off those clamps and stuff. That's what they do. They engineered those clamps. Those are one of those specialty pieces. If I know I'm making those clamps, I'm getting the rubber hammer, banging those bad boys, trying to get it off. And you see everybody in that team, and he's talking to the AMA officials. And you know what? That was a controlled bike. That bike never left the sight of the course worker. So that's what they always tell the riders. You're told to do the right thing.
It's not allowed to go behind pit wall.
Right.
See, look at his handlebar.
That's what they were working on. A lot more cloud cover right now as well. Boy, this could get a little crazy. And what happens if weather decides to change as well? So it's a little darker on different parts of the track. I mean, you're talking about 2.5 miles of track, but I'm not saying anything could happen, but that could throw a monkey wrench in it as well. It's all right. We're not expected to have any chance of rain. Weren't expected as the riders on the track and as these guys get ready to line up. The track's 100 degrees, it's 74 degrees as far as the ambient temperature, and Hayden Schultz then needs to get out there on this lap. If not, they're going to have to start from the back of the pack.
Even if you just start at the end of pit lane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's okay. Just got to get in there. And I think they're...
So if he can make the start, he can go down there and wait.
Yeah, he goes.
And then he'll be the last one to, you know, after everybody comes by, then they'll let him go.
They're tapping him on the shoulder like they're saying it ain't gonna happen. But right now he needs to try and still do it until the last minute's up, because where you see one red flag, you might have seen it before. I've seen that before, and then it's basically like it never even happened. He's doing everything he can. The team's doing everything he can. And Jody Berry, what a fighter he is too. You're so impressed by him this week. Finished second yesterday. Hayden Schultz finished third, and both of them not able to our entire podium from yesterday not able to compete on this restart the way it looks right now. And it is a one bike rule, Raj. It's not like they can pull another bike out there and have him continue or finish, or like MotoGP races where they have that bike waiting if it rains. So their warm-up lap will be coming up next. It was a quick start procedure, so Hayden Schultz and Jody Berry still have a chance. He's put in the earplugs. Jody's going to go out there, going to start at the end of pit lane. How many guys do we really have running right now? I mean, I see 20 riders on our list. We know that several got taken out there. You get 1 point for 15th place. And then it goes up.
And you have to think Caleb's out, so there's one guy.
Right. And you know that, I mean, you're talking about the front end of the field that got taken out. They should be able to pick off some people.
Look at that. Yeah, he's walking off.
When they ever say the gloves are off, unfortunately they're off in a bad way. And there's his brother getting it all on video. He does a lot of social media stuff. Jody Berry sees them take off. He knows he can't take his original starting spot. Maybe Just maybe they can get it out in time. We were told that he
He's
wasn't
going to hope these guys take a really slow warm-up lap.
And we were told that he wasn't going to do a restart. So I think he wasn't, and then they thought, well, maybe, because he looks like he's all right.
I'm sure they start thinking about, the points. Just get a couple points and see what you can salvage. Even if the bike's bent, you're going to, still start well. And, with his speed, even with the bike a little bit bent up with a couple guys out, he still could maybe get on the podium.
Let's count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 18 is what I counted. You got to pass 3 people, right? I counted 18 on the restart. Again, our eyes will still be on Teague Hobbs leading this field, but will Jody Berry be able to head back out there? There's the 717. They're doing everything they can. The Moto America and AMA officials are watching. These are championship points that the man who stands second in the championship coming into today.
And this class is so competitive this year.
There's third, there's fifth in the championship.
Championship's going to be so tight.
Yeah,
that's why I keep saying where every point is just going to be so important.
You know who's going to come out of here smelling like a rose? That's Trevor Standish.
Yeah.
He's
on the Suzuki.
Yeah, on the Suzuki. He's basically, he has a chance at a win right now, but he will be the points leader if he just keeps it on 2 wheels and stays in that top 3.
That might make up for the disappointment of missing the podium yesterday all the way down to the last corner.
That's true. Going from, talking about what it would be like to be on the podium and do all that, to be the points leader leaving. Again, that's hypothetical. We're going to see if Jody Berry can start for the end of pit lane, but either way, it's going to be Teague Hobbs that should be leading the field. Chris Parrish, the 128, has a chance at another win. When was the last time Chris Parrish won a Moto America race? It's been, 3 years ago, I would say. All eyes on Teague Hobbs.
He's looking back, wondering if his guys are going to make the race.
Trevor Standish trying to fire himself up. He sees his best chance ever of winning a Moto America race. Let's see. Here they go. We've got 6 laps to go here in the Twins. Standish popping a wheelie, but he looked like he got a pretty good run. What happened to Teague Hobbs? Got ghosted on the start. Wow, Roger.
But here's the thing, he has the best pace now. Don't panic. Work your way through these guys, and he should be able to creep away. But don't make a mistake this first lap trying to force your way through.
Right, he's 4th, it looks like, behind Chris Bays. Chris Bays having a strong run. He's been having some motor issues, but he's in the top 5 right now. Whoa!
Already making a pass in turn 4.
Oh my goodness! Back there in 3rd now is Teague Hobbs. What about that aggressiveness on the start? You can't get much more aggressive than that.
He knows there's only a couple laps left.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That was. I'd love to see that one again. That was awesome. Teague Hobbs is up to 3rd. Just in front of him, the champion of the Twins Cup 3 years ago, Chris Parrish. The 16 Pure Attitude Racing of Trevor Standish. Eggero Customs, they're looking for their win. And that's Chris Parrish back there in 2nd. You see Chris Bays, the 621 in 4th. Getting that heart a-pumping for Teague Hobbs up to 2nd now. He ain't going to wait long on Standish, is he? Let's take a look again as
the 4th rider in line.
On the left. Look at this pass.
Ooh.
And he was kind of set up wrong for this turn. How did he make that turn? Chris Bays did a great job of backing out a little bit. He knew he was out of shape. Is he going to pull out of the draft? Not here. Chris Parrish trying to get a little toe on Teague Hobbs right there. Parrish with GCP. Suzuki in 3rd and going to the inside. Now heading into 2, 3, 4. Trevor Standish has been fast, though. That bike's pretty darn quick. I don't know it's as fast as the Suzuki at Teague Hobbs. That bike's had some strong runs these past couple of years. You see Joe Melendez off the track. Bike's still running, trying to get it going again.
Those bikes will be pretty even. I believe M4 builds both of those bikes, so they're going to be pretty pretty even.
I think the 79 might have a little more of the special sauce, though. I mean, you saw him pull up to the inside right there. The racecraft of Teague Hobbs. He might not have had the coin to keep competing last year, but boy, he's got the skill to do it this year and the money for the first stop. And Trevor Standish still not backing out of it. Goes by him again. A little bit of a miss. And I think Teague kind of knew it. He looked around for him.
Look at Chris. Could have come up, maybe try to get a double draft.
And there's what happened to the 200. Just goes into that air fence. And that's why they have those Dunlop M4 two-seater rides who can pay for those air fences coming to each stop.
Teague made the pass to get back in the lead. Now he's going to put his head down this lap. Try to pull away and see if he cannot break the draft.
Yeah, I like what all three of them are doing. And Chris Parrish not losing ground from both of these guys. That's the old veteran saying, guys, I'm here. So this is that time, Roger, that we thought if Teague Hobbs got in front, he could maybe check out. And he's really not checking out, whether it be the Aprilias or the Suzukis. He's not able to pull away.
It's going to be interesting to see what Trevor's going to do. Is he going to push it to try to get his first win, or play it safe and get his first podium?
Yeah, the second place. I mean, you think about that, especially with Chris Parrish so close. I think that's going to get in your head a little bit, too, because you tend to ride a little defensively when you can lose a spot. And again, all three of these are Suzuki's. 4th place Suzuki, 5th place Suzuki, 6th place Suzuki, and then a Yamaha of Ryan Snooks in 7th. Four laps to go, and taking a look back as Chris Parrish sees nobody. He can do whatever he wants and not have to worry about somebody sneaking up on him. And he and Chris Bays actually, I think, were racing just a couple of weeks ago in either a Whero race or some type of endurance race.
I'm telling you, Trevor's not letting Teague get away.
No. And he was fast at the end yesterday. You know, Hayden got him right nearly at the line, but Trevor was, I think, at his best at the end of the race yesterday.
That second split, he was a half a second quicker than Teague.
Yeah, and second fastest overall. Or he was the fastest overall in that sector. A 31.4 to a 31.9. But even then, Teague Hobbs on his last lap turns the overall best lap. Whoa, look. We're getting close. That outside line, you've looked at it in several different classes, and it kind of looks a little unorthodox to you, doesn't it?
A little bit. But who knows, maybe made a mistake to get him one, but he had a really quick 2.34. You can see the little bit of the gap that he put on. It seems like he's a little quicker the first part of the track, and then Trevor can kind of make it back the second part.
Is there a chance that maybe swinging wide kind of sets him up better for that portion? Because, I mean, or it just scared Trevor Standish a little bit that he had to back off?
I think it's just maybe he got in and carried too much speed and ran a little bit wide, because it really doesn't set you up very well for the next corner.
Listen to these Suzukis powering, the Suzuki SV, powering down those straightaways, equally prepared equipment. As you mentioned, Teague Hobbs, I believe that's the bike that Alex Dumas rode a couple of years ago to a championship. Rocco Landers rode Suzuki to a championship last year in the Twins Cup. Now moving on to Super Sport. Trevor Standish, a child actor from Georgia, wanting to do it in front of mom, pops, the whole family, friends, everybody's here. It's nothing sweeter than winning at your home track. And he still has a chance, and he looks good coming up the hill again.
The lap before, this is the part of the track where it looked like Teague was a lot stronger. I don't know if he made a mistake or...
It looks like Teague pushes it a little bit harder through there, and I think Trevor's being gentle. Yeah, you're right. I mean, a considerable difference in that first sector. But Trevor in sector 2 is the quickest.
Yeah, he put out 4/10 in that first sector, and it's purple first sector, so that's the fastest one of this race. You can tell now, laps are winding down. He's got his head down, and he wants to build a gap.
Did I see, are they getting into lap traffic? I mean, with this many laps, you wouldn't think that would be the case. I thought I saw somebody crossing the picture. Nope. Might have just been these two guys up in front of Chris Parrish, who has dropped back off of this group. A couple of seconds. 2 laps to go. Next time around, they're going to get the white flag.
If Trevor can figure out this first sector on this last lap, he is going to get close enough to maybe get in the draft on that last lap.
And Hayden Schultz put that pass on him right around here somewhere yesterday, so maybe he could put that mojo move on him that Hayden put on him the day prior. There's the white flag going to be coming out, and does so. A little bit of a difference, and again, this first sector has been the nemesis for Trevor Standish. Teague Hobbs has been running it really hard, but only one more lap to go here in the Twins Cup. Over that little bump that we've seen through the years, Trevor's closing in, but again, these twisty, turny sections is where Teague Hobbs really turns it on. Bike works well. Trevor might not have lost as much that time. But it looks like he turns a little harder into it, doesn't it?
He's pushing hard. He knows he wants to stay in that draft just so see what can happen going on the brakes into turn 10.
Trevor with a personal best in sector 1, but it was 2/10 slower than Teague Hobbs. Here's where Trevor really kind of gets things going.
He needs to get a really good drive out of 7.
I just don't see it. It's too much distance there. He's going to have to hope for a mistake out of Teague Hobbs. Manchester, New Hampshire, Innovative Motorsports, Mike's Imports, and that Suzuki SV650. Here we go. It's getting closer. Only a couple of more turns to go. Now, if he can feel him or hear him, he might run a little defensive. Teague Hobbs out in front, that hard right. We're going to have a downhill and a race to the finish. Down that hill, Standish wants to go to the inside. There's not enough room to do it unless Teague Hobbs runs wide. He guards that inside. Teague Hobbs is going to be a winner in Moto America, and he takes the Twins victory. Just behind him, Trevor Standish with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:35.5. And welcome back to the podium, Chris Parrish.
And he answered my question. Was he going to push hard to try to win the race or be happy with the podium? That was awesome last lap he put together.
The answer was yes. He pushed hard to try and win the race, and he was happy being in second. He was fist pumping back there. Wow, the homeboy does it in second. Trevor Standish. Strong runs by Parrish, Bays, and Corey Hart with a top 5 as well. I was impressed with day 1 with Hart's run, and comes back.
So cool to see T get that win after the weekend he's had, and then also after the little mistake yesterday on the start to come back today and get a little redemption has to feel pretty good.
Corey Hart in the Hart Luck Racing entry finished 7th on day 1 and 5th on day 2, so that's some good luck for the Hart Luck team. It's happened, Teague. Hey, can you remember New Jersey? Just what it was like and everybody cheering for him? Was it that there? Or?
Yeah, it was in New Jersey.
What's it going to be like this time? Good kid. Or if he's going to the swimming pool with David Kolstad. That was my quote of the day yesterday. Here are your unofficial results for race number 2. Teague Hobbs took over 9 minutes to get that bad boy done. A 0.2 of a second advantage at the stripe ahead of Trevor Standish, Chris Parrish rounding out the podium. Liam McDonald in his first foray, another strong finish for him in 7th place. That's after that 10th place finish yesterday. Ethan Cook and John Knowles on the first page. First Yamaha in the field in 6th, Ryan Snooks. Another good finish by Ryan. Tell me your first race win, a big win like this. Where was it?
Barber 2004. Super Sport race.
We're going to light up that Dunlop.
He's
got too much traction.
Oh.
I guess that's how you kind of break it loose. Maybe get into a little dirt first. Break it loose.
That's what it takes, though. You got to keep winning these races, so you keep practicing.
You learn how to do that, right? That was the first thing he did wrong today. Looking good in that Bison gear as well. What a run. What a run, and that's we're gonna get to hear from our victory podium here in just a moment. Pulling in for the first time.
Yeah, baby! Great job, buddy! Yeah, baby! Way to go, Jay! You did it! Good job! Hey, give your son a hug. Yeah, baby! Way to go, mama! Way to go, mom!
Love all around for mom and dad. Make sure. As a father myself, I mean, the family and the support that he gets all around the paddock. I mean, it's
Just think about all the sacrifices they have made to get your son to this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pulling into Parc Fermé for the very first time as a winner in Moto America. Not just family, but the crew that's been supporting you too, you know. Let's send it down to Michael Hill.
Yeah, literally so much emotion and elation down here. Teague Hobbs, after the disappointment of yesterday, that is one way to bounce back. Your first Moto America win. How does it feel?
Feels like nothing. I mean, feels like nothing I've ever done before. You know, I'm super stoked for me, my crew, my family, all the people that have helped me. I've been trying to do this thing for 4 years now, and we finally got it.
Great way to start the season. We're going to keep rolling down here, guys. I'm going to move across and speak to the Atlanta-based Trevor Standish. He's in tears down here. You better stop crying because I'll start crying. And I don't know whether Trevor Standish knows this, but not only your first Moto America Twins Cup podium, but you are the new leader of the Twins Cup Championship. How do you feel, buddy?
Pretty good. Oh, that was an awesome race. Obviously, you never want to get here on a red flag, but you had to keep it up, and it was a great race. Thank you so much to the whole Pure Attitude Racing team for giving me an amazing bike to race this year, and thank you so much to the crew for coming out. Kent with GMD CombiTrack ATL had those sweet numbers on point today. Thank you to Doug, just thank you to AJ, thank you to my dad, my mom, everybody else coming out. Thank you Taishi and Arai for keeping me safe out there and let me push it to the limit. Motul for making this bike run as fast as possible. It's just, and so many other people. Thank you so much to the people that have believed in me this year and got me a great package, but it's an amazing day. Thank you so much.
He's thanking the whole world right down there. It's a load of people down here. And let's move across to Chris Parrish. And he had a tough day yesterday as well. I know, Chris, I spoke to you last night. Another day, another race. And again, just like Tig, you put it right today. Great to see you back on the box.
It's been a while, hasn't it? I really just want to thank Brandon and Beth and Joe to help me out this weekend. It's so much easier to have a lot of help, and thank to Chris Ulrich. If you can believe it, this motorcycle was in 100 pieces Monday afternoon, and we all put it together and struggled all weekend. But this last race, it actually started to feel good, but I lost pace, and I don't know if I'm just fatter or the bike's just slower, but I couldn't keep up with them. I knew where I was at, and I just put it on cruise, had fun, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we loved watching that. Back to you guys in the booth. I tell you what, there's going to be one hell of a party down here when the podium gets going. Back to you boys in the booth.
Thanks a lot, Michael. You saw the the jubilation. Teague Hobbs, his first ever win. Standish, the new points leader after finishing in 8th, I believe, last year in the championship. And here are the points. He's got a 7 points advantage over the old man that might have put on a pound or two, Chris Parrish. Teague Hobbs now, even though missing and having to drop back with that black flag, is going to be in 3rd.
Kind of evened out with the guys that having problems today.
We look at the second page. Lee McDonald in the top 10 in his first season in Moto America. What a way to end our day in the Twins Cup with a victory by Teague Hobbs. What a day. 6 classes, 6 winners, first-time winners, repeat winners. And I believe in 6 classes, we saw 6 different brand manufacturers represented with victories this weekend, Roger.
It was an awesome weekend of racing, especially. Way to kick off the season this year.
Some of the guys had a happy weekend. Some going to end with a sour taste in their mouth. But either way, we're going to do it again in a couple of weeks. Virginia International Raceway, the next stop at Moto America. We'll see you there.